I'm her father. I'm the face of her, and I'm her representative in her fight to come home. And nobody's gonna fight this fight more than me, harder than me, and longer than me.
Over a week ago, we shared the story about the 24-year-old California woman who went missing after applying for a job in Houston's nightclub. Felicia was last seen at CoverGirls on West Little York, where she applied for a job. According to Quinnell X, an unidentified customer offered her a ride, and he believes she was taken against her will. Her cell phone, covered in blood, was found 4 miles from the club days later.
The family is pleading for help finding their missing loved one after her bloody cell phone was discovered in a local park.
Yeah, the family of Felicia Johnson says Felicia applied for a job last Friday at a local nightclub, and that was the last time anyone heard or seen from her.
Her loved ones are holding out hope now that she is found safe.
Felicia's father, Kevin Johnson, says it took 5 days before the Houston Police Department began investigating her disappearance.
Since that time, I've stepped back and allowed them to do their job. However, I have yet to be provided with any information as it relates to her last known whereabouts, which I believe to be the CoverGirl nightclub. Nor have I at this time been provided with any pertinent information as it relates to the surveillance footage at the CoverGirl nightclub that could easily confirm or deny Felicia's identity.
There's many questions, obviously, that are out there, and we need the answers because right now, grief is intensified without justice. And sadly, right now, justice is lacking for Felicia and her family.
Felicia's father also claims HPD, the Harris County DA's office, and the club owners are not forthcoming about Felicia's disappearance.
But Casey Wallace, the attorney for the Adult Entertainment Club, tells KHOU 11 the hostess and manager that night are not sure if she was there.
They don't know if they spoke to Felicia Johnson or not. Multiple people come in that club all the time. Could one of them have been Miss Johnson? Yes.
Johnson's father says his daughter was looking for a job, and when she didn't get it, she called for an Uber. But when it ran late, she got into another man's car. Her family says they found her cell phone at Bear Creek Park. Houston police have not confirmed that story. This attorney says HPD investigators have been to CoverGirls to talk to employees and collect surveillance video, but he says they have no paper record of a job application.
There is paperwork for her to fill out and what we call a dancer packet. That's full of information. They sign it, they execute it, and they can go to work. But that did not happen with Miss Johnson. She did not fill out any paperwork.
According to reports, Felicia's father believes she may have become a victim of human trafficking. He also shared words for Black Lives Matter of Houston.
Where are you at? I've been here 2 weeks. You have zero presence. Reach out to me. That's all I got to say.
Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for any information that can help bring her home by calling 713-222-TIPS. The FBI will be assisting with the case. However, HPD will remain the lead. Friends, family, supporters of Felicia came out to where her cell phone was discovered to bring awareness to her case.
Felicia. Felicia.
Baby, Daddy here for you. I'm not leaving until we find you.
Let's go.
I'm standing strong for you. Every day gets harder. I'm not gonna lie. But every day I find more strength to keep going.
We firmly believe that she is the victim of foul play. We firmly believe that someone has taken her against her will. And we firmly believe that this sister should be treated with the highest priority with law enforcement. Someone is deliberately attempting to throw us off. Someone is deliberately creating fake social media pages in her name and her image to make it look and seem as though she's still out there doing something other than at harm's way. We know something bad happened to this sister. She has not called a member of her family, not used no credit cards, did not return back to the hotel where she was staying. If you can see us, we're hunting and looking for you night and day. Hang on, hang in there. Do whatever you gotta do to survive, because we will find you.
Everyone is hoping for justice to be served.
Well, for dancers, and she was apparently looking for a dancer position, many prospective dancers will walk in and say, I'm looking for a job. Are you hiring? And we may be hiring at that point. We may not be. If we're not hiring, we say respectfully, we're not hiring right now. Perhaps you'd like to come back at a later date. And that's the end of the conversation. If, on the other hand, we are interviewing and discussing with a potential dancer that she would like to work there, there is paperwork for her to fill out and what we call a dancer packet. That's full of information. They sign it, they execute it, and they can go to work. But that did not happen with Miss Johnson. She did not fill out any paperwork.
But again, she didn't fill out any paperwork. She may have walked in, may have not, but you can't confirm that she walked in.
That's correct.
Does that mean, again, forgive me, I just want to make sure I'm correct, does that mean that you've reviewed the surveillance video from inside the club and she's not on the video?
No, ma'am. It confirms that I have looked at the surveillance video. I have not identified Miss Johnson on that video. I cannot categorically say that she was or that she was not in that club. I would tend to think that she wasn't. I've done an extensive investigation to try to find out and get to the bottom of what happened. Because quite frankly, I can understand the stress and the worry and the anxiety that the Johnson family is under. We'd like to find her more than anybody. But I don't know that she ever was at that club.
So if she went missing on April 15th, the police were at the club the very next day or the same day? The very next day, because it was night.
Well, they
April
weren't.
16th.
They weren't there the next day. The exact day they showed up, I frankly don't recall. It was the Missing Persons Bureau or the Missing Persons Division, and it was 2 officers. They looked at our video cameras. They saw our setup. We invited them into the office. We gave them full carte blanche to anything and everything they wanted, and at that time we gave them a copy of the video.
So they left with video. It might have been Monday the 18th, because the 15th was a Friday of April.
Correct. It most likely would have been Monday the 18th. Because I was there.
You were there?
I was there when the police walked in.
Okay.
And I was there because the Black Panthers and Quanell X held a press conference there in the parking lot. And I was asked by management, go find out what's going on. So I drove out there, and I was there. They had their press conference, and they left. It was shortly thereafter, within minutes, the Houston Police Department walked in the club.
Is that how you all in the club found out that there was a missing person from that press conference?
No.
How did you find out?
It is my understanding that on the weekend, during the week, on Saturday or on Sunday, and frankly, I don't know which day it was, that on Saturday or Sunday, some people who self-identified themselves as Black Panther investigators with Quanell X came into the club, talked to the hostess, talked to some other employees and or dancers that were there at the club when they were there. They were eventually asked to leave because they weren't there as customers. They're not investigators. They are not the police. And quite frankly, they were, I don't want to say they were being disruptive because that would be an unfair characterization. But the club was trying to operate and not answer questions for people associated with the Black Panthers. Don't have anything against the Black Panthers one way or the other. Don't have anything against Mr. Quanell X one way or the other. It's just they were going to run their business.
And that's the first time that the club was made aware of Felicia Johnson being missing.
That's correct.
Are any of the employees, any of the other dancers, were they aware of Miss Johnson? Did they know her? Did they see her?
Nope. No one's ever talked to her. No one knows her. No one has seen her. No one is a friend of hers that we can uncover.
But police did interview the dancers.
The police interviewed a hostess who would have been a person that would have had interaction with her. They interviewed the manager on duty, who would have been the manager who would have either told her, I'm sorry, I'm just not hiring, or didn't have any interaction with her at all because she didn't show up, one or the other. But there was no other interaction by any other person, purportedly, with Miss Johnson. The story goes that she came in, applied for a job, didn't get it, and left. If that story is true, she would have not had she wouldn't have been able to have interaction with any other dancers or any other employees. It would have been the hostess and it would have been the manager.
And the hostess and the manager say they never spoke to Felicia Johnson.
They don't know if they spoke to Felicia Johnson or not. Multiple people come in that club all the time. Could one of them have been Miss Johnson? Yes. If that's true, have we given the videotape to the police department of that event? The answer is yes. I'm not at liberty to disclose what was on those videos. If the police department wants to disclose what's on those videos, they're more than welcome to. But I can tell you this, that in my opinion, the Houston Police Department is doing a thorough investigation into this. They are not treating this case as some kind of runaway person. I mean, this has been elevated up the Houston Police Department chain of command, and they're doing a very good investigation into this case.
And you spoke to them?
I have spoken to the Houston Police Department, certainly have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have they given you reason to believe this is more than a missing persons case? There's foul play or a criminal component involved?
No, and I didn't ask them one way or another because I think that'd be unfair to put them on the spot. I did not feel it was my position to say, hey, I'll trade you video for tell me what you know about the case. They'll disclose what they want to disclose when they want to disclose it. They're the experts in finding people like this.